Hello viewers, welcome to my channel. Grey's Anatomy returned with an explosive, literally, season 22 premiere that has fans reeling, mourning, and already arguing online. After months of speculation about who survived the season 21 cliffhanger hospital explosion, Thursday night's premiere delivered the kind of gut-wrenching twist only Grey's could pull off. A beloved major character was killed off in the first 15 minutes. This wasn't just another shocking death for shock value. It was a moment that reset the tone of the show, redefined relationships, and reminded everyone that even after 2 decades, Grey's Anatomy still knows how to break hearts in the most devastating way. The explosion fallout, picking up right where we left off. Season 21 ended on one of the show's tensest cliffhangers in years. A powerful explosion ripped through Grey Sloan Memorial, leaving several doctors unaccounted for. The premiere, titled, After the Ashes, opens in complete chaos. The hospital is in ruins, alarms blaring, glass shattered everywhere, and the usually composed surgical team is in full panic mode. Meredith Grey, Ellen Pompeo, narrates the cold open, a haunting monologue about the fragility of tomorrow, reminding fans that though she's moved to Boston, her voice and legacy still hovers over Seattle like a ghost. You never think the last thing you say will be the last thing you say, she says. But in the end, that's all we have, moments before everything changes. Within minutes, viewers realize the explosion wasn't just structural, it claimed lives. And when the first body bag appears, the camera lingers just long enough to make everyone dread what's coming. The heartbreaking loss. Goodbye to Dr. Owen Hunt. Yes, it's official. Drive. Owen Hunt. Kevin McKidd is gone. After surviving plane crashes, car wrecks, PTSD battles, and countless personal tragedies, Hunt met his end heroically, saving a patient trapped under debris from the blast. In the episode's most emotional sequence, Owen refuses to leave the unstable wing despite Teddy, Kim Raver, and Winston Anthony Hill begging him to get out. He stays to stabilize a young nurse with internal bleeding, telling Teddy over the radio, "I can't leave her. I've trained people my whole life to stay calm in crisis, now it's my turn to prove I meant it." Moments later, a secondary explosion rips through the floor. Teddy watches in horror as the room collapses. His last words, "Tell Leo the first love him." Silence follows. No music, no slow-motion montage, just the raw sound of destruction. The screen fades to white before the title card appears. It's a brutal, brilliant piece of storytelling, one that feels like a throwback to the show's early seasons when loss was sudden, senseless, and painfully human. Cast and crew react. A farewell 15 years in the making. Kevin McKidd's exit marks the end of an era. The actor, who joined Grey's Anatomy in season 5, had been one of the show's longest-running cast members. In a post-episode interview, showrunner Meg Marini's confirmed that McKidd's departure had been planned since last year. Kevin wanted to go out in a way that honored Owen's legacy as a soldier, a leader, and a man who always ran toward danger, never from it, Marini's explained. This was the right story, at the right time. McKidd himself released an emotional statement after the episode aired. "It's been the honor of my career to play Owen Hunt. I'm endlessly grateful to Shonda Rhimes, Krista Vernoff, Meg, and the incredible cast and crew who made this journey unforgettable. Owen went out the way he lived, fighting to save others. I couldn't have asked for a better ending." Fans flooded social media with tributes, sharing clips of Owen's early days in the army, his complicated romance with Christina Young, Sandra Oh, and his more recent family life with Teddy. "He deserved peace, but at least he got purpose," one viewer wrote on X. The aftermath. Grey Sloan in shambles. The emotional fallout of Owen's death dominates the rest of the premiere. Teddy, crushed by grief and guilt, struggles to lead in the wake of her husband's sacrifice. In one gut punch of a scene, she walks into the OR, still covered in ash, and performs emergency surgery without a word. When she finally removes her gloves, her hands won't stop shaking. Amelia Katerina Skorson delivers the line that sums up the hour, "We've lost so many people to medicine, but this feels different. We lost our anchor." Meanwhile, Winston is forced to step up as interim chief of surgery. His calm authority surprises everyone, including Bailey Chandra Wilson, who admits, "You remind me of Richard when he first wore that badge." Richard Webber James Pickens Jr., though physically fine, seems emotionally shattered, haunted by the memory of yet another tragedy within his walls. Even Joe Camilla Luddington and Link Chris Carmack, who were beginning a new chapter together, find themselves questioning everything. "We can't keep pretending life isn't waiting to explode," Joe says, echoing Meredith's opening voiceover. Meredith's presence still looms large. Though Ellen Pompeo isn't returning as a full-time series regular, her shadow looms large over the episode. Meredith is shown in Boston receiving the news of Owen's death in a brief but powerful phone scene with Bailey. "Another one?" she asks quietly, tears welling up. "How many more before the hospital becomes a graveyard?" In the episode's closing montage, Meredith's voice returns. "The thing about survival is, it's not guaranteed. Not for heroes, not for lovers, not even for doctors. But we keep trying, because hope is the only thing that can't explode." It's vintage Grey's Anatomy, tragic, poetic, and just self-aware enough to make fans cry and nod at the same time. A shocking start to a new era. By the end of the hour, the hospital is in ruins both structurally and emotionally. The credits roll over a somber aerial shot of Grey Sloan Memorial, surrounded by flashing red lights and smoke. It's clear season 22 is setting up a darker, more introspective tone, one that explores trauma, resilience, and rebuilding after loss. Showrunner Marini's has teased that the explosion storyline will ripple through the entire season. This isn't something we move past quickly. The hospital itself becomes a metaphor, broken, but worth rebuilding. Rumors are already swirling that the premiere's events will lead to major staffing changes at Grey Sloan. Several new interns introduced last season are expected to step into larger roles, with the hospital forced to rely on its youngest doctors in the absence of veteran leadership. Fan reactions. This felt like old-school Grey's. Social media lit up immediately after the episode aired, with fans calling it one of the most emotional Grey's Anatomy premieres in years. "Season 22 just proved Grey's still has it," one user wrote. "I haven't cried like this since Derek died." Others praised the writing, noting how the show balanced chaos with quiet grief. "It wasn't just about losing Owen," another fan commented. "It was about losing what he represented: stability, loyalty, and courage." Of course, not everyone was ready to say goodbye. Some fans expressed frustration at yet another tragic exit, accusing the show of relying on death as a plot device. "They could have written him off without killing him," one tweet read. But no, they had to go full Shonda. Still, most viewers agreed that the episode reignited the emotional power that made Grey's Anatomy a television institution. Looking ahead, what's next for season 22? With Owen gone, Teddy's future becomes one of the season's biggest storylines. Early previews suggest she'll struggle with guilt and possibly question her future in medicine altogether. Bailey and Richard, meanwhile, will try to rebuild Grey Sloan, literally and emotionally, while mentoring the next generation of surgeons. Fans can also expect more crossover with Station 19, especially given that firefighters played a crucial role in the rescue scenes. One familiar face from Station 19 reportedly joins Grey Sloan in Episode 3 as part of the ongoing recovery effort. And yes, don't count Meredith out just yet. Rumors persist that Ellen Pompeo will return later this season for a multi-episode arc connected to the explosion's aftermath. A legacy of loss, a promise of renewal. Grey's Anatomy has never shied away from killing off major characters, from George and Lexi to Derek and DeLuca, but Owen's death feels particularly symbolic. It's a reminder that even the strongest, most steadfast characters aren't immune to fate. In a world where the show could easily fade into formula, the season 22 premiere instead reignites its heart. It's a return to the show's roots: tragedy, heroism, and the unrelenting belief that even after unimaginable loss, life, and medicine, goes on. As Meredith's closing narration reminds us, we rebuild, we always rebuild, because that's what surgeons, and survivors, do. And just like that, Grey's Anatomy season 22 proves it still knows exactly how to cut deep.